At last, my right arm is complete again.
Sweeney Todd is, it's the type of musical that everyone thinks about the fact that, it's this dark concept and murder and mayhem and people in pies, and yet there's just so much more to it. There's all these great characters who bring all these side stories to the whole thing, and it all forms this whole web of intrigue.
It's always been, for a long time, one of my favourite musicals, top 5. And just the character in itself, just tonally, it suits my acting range. He's just so outlandish, and it's good to actually have a dark character for once, because I've always done a lot of comic roles and sort of wacky characters, but it's good to have a really deep and dark sort of emotional character to delve into.
Well, Mrs. Lovett owns a pie shop in Fleet Street in London, and she's an opportunistic sort of individual. She makes the most of her circumstances, which aren't the greatest at the beginning of the show, but she sees opportunity, and I think she's a very canny woman, and she uses what she can and builds the shop up through her own secret little recipes.
Well, it's by Stephen Sondheim, and I'm a real fan of his work. It's quite sort of intellectual music. There's a lot to it in terms of harmonically, and he uses lots and lots and lots of words, but that's really fun to do. But he often gets into these stories with quite a lot of depth. There's a lot of soul, and of course in this musical there's a lot of darkness, which is always fun to get into.
The appeal to me for the show was just the music itself. It's a great show musically to listen to and to sing, and I really like the idea of how sort of dark, and it covers some ideas and some concepts that aren't your average musical theatre show.
Sweeney Todd is definitely considered one of his masterpiece works, particularly given its status and the fact that it sits in a musical theatre world, plus it's also something that serious opera companies consider and perform. So not only does it sort of sit alongside Andrew Lloyd Webber and Claude Michel Schoenberg in terms of modern musical theatre, it also has a life in a world where you've got Puccini up against Mozart, and in some of those wonderful 400-year-old cultures, this piece of music stands as something that an opera company would love to perform as well. It has some very tricky music inside it. It has some moments where it's pure musical academic theory inside everything that goes on, and putting it all together is quite a challenge for what we're going to do, and building a cohesive unit between the orchestra and the cast is always going to be something that everyone's going to really enjoy when they come along and see the show.
Attend the tale of Sweeney Todd
3 shows only at the Empire Theatre.
this September.
We'll be waiting for you, dearies.